Alright guys, we got another review, The Hateful Eight. So I know this is a little bit of an older movie and I have not seen it, and I wanted to watch something different. I came across it on a small video and I was like, you know what, I've never seen this before, and we have a lot of A-list actors in here. I mean, we got between Kurt Russell, Samuel L. Jackson, Walton Goggins, Channing Tatum. You know, we have a lot of good actors in here, and I'm a huge fan of Kurt Russell and Samuel L. Jackson and Walton Goggins as well. And to see them all in the same room, in the same scene, I absolutely loved it, because the entirety of this movie is based on like 7 to 8 chapters throughout the entirety of the movie, and it takes place not long after the Civil War. So again, we're going to have a lot of different stuff in here that still shows with race issues and things of that nature, obviously during this time period. And Kurt Russell plays a bounty hunter. He's trying to get this one woman to this one town, and he comes across Samuel L. Jackson's character, who is a bounty hunter, former Northern military for the cavalry and also for the Union at this time, and he's became a bounty hunter. Then they go and run into Walton Goggins' character, who is a going to be a sheriff in that town. So everything kind of connects into this story, and when they finally get to this one area to stop for the night because of a bad blizzard, they meet these other characters, one saying that he's a writer, another one saying he is the hangman, and then another one who is a former Confederate general. And they all go through different relationships in this movie. And again, this is directed by Quentin Tarantino, so again, with a lot of his films, it's very derogatory, very bloody, very intense, some comedy. But overall, this just felt like a messed up comedy, in my opinion. There wasn't a whole lot of action. I mean, there was to a certain degree, but it was more comedy, in my opinion, depending on dark humor, or how much dark humor you have on certain aspects of the film, to where you know, you may laugh or you may not, or you may find something offensive, or whatever the case of it is. And pretty much it was a big ploy of some of the ones there were not who they say they were, because they were cahoots with the woman that Kurt Russell took that is has a bounty on her head, because it was her brother, played by Channing Tatum, where they all were coming up with this plan to rescue her, and they didn't expect Samuel L. Jackson's character nor Walton Goggins' character. And during the whole time frame of this movie, a lot of tension rises between a lot of the characters, and there's some backstory on each character. And I will say this, was this the perfect movie in my opinion? No, not really. I mean, Quentin Tarantino has a thing where he wants to drag out movies, and I will say that, and explain everything on a character, and at the same time sometimes overdo it with either a male character or a female character. And that's fine, being able to get these characters out and be able to explain who they are, how they are, where they come from, what got them here. Again, that's fine with me. But some of it, again, in this film was probably not really necessary, and especially with some of the music in here was kind of off point as well. And again, like I said, there's some comments in here that's actually really intense, and I'm just gonna say this now, I think everyone brought it in this film from an acting perspective. Samuel L. Jackson, he brought it in this movie for this role. He was very you never know what was going to come out this man's mouth. Same thing with Kurt Russell, you never knew what was going to come out of his mouth. Same thing with Walton Goggins. Again, I'm a big fan of Walton Goggins, especially from Justified. That's what really introduced me to him, and I think now going into older films I have not seen him in, or I never knew he was in, really just shows me how much of a good actor he is, especially with, you know, The Righteous Gemstones, which just, you know, guy's crazy. I mean, it was really hard to take his character seriously, especially from the other things I've seen him in, and just nonstop laugh at a lot of the stupid comments that was coming out of his mouth. And same thing with Samuel L. Jackson, because Samuel L. Jackson has a thing, same thing with Kurt Russell, where they can mix seriousness with comedy and be able to deliver a line that is supposed to be serious, but it comes out comedic. And I think that's this movie works well in certain aspects to where you don't know if they're supposed to be serious or they're trying to be serious. But again, if you've seen so many movies with them like I have, it just kind of goes up and down. But overall, I think this movie was interesting. It's a 2.5-hour movie, so it's a very long film, and it's on Netflix right now. So if you guys want to check it out, it's out there. Like I say, it is a Western film. It's not like a big Western film to where, we got gunshots, we got, horse chases, we got, carriage issues, all this kind of stuff. We don't have that. We just have a lot of dialogue and a lot of kind of banter, during this time frame of what was going on, and also surviving very much harsh conditions, and at the same time dealing with a lot of racism, dealing with a lot of gangs, what was left of the Confederacy, the Union trying to come up for the cavalry, and all this other kind of stuff, on and on and on. But overall, I think the story was interesting. The characters were interesting, and overall, was it, like I said, do I like it? It's an okay film. I consider it, like I said, more of a comedy in my opinion, because I felt like there was a lot of dark banter on back and forth for every single character, and I think that's why I say it's more of a comedy, because there was very little action in here, but there was action to a certain degree, and it really shows that every character had evil and good in their heart to a certain degree. And I think that was the whole necessary of a film. It's like, regardless of your stance towards one human being or another human being, at the very end, we're all human. So especially during that time frame. But overall, I got to give credit to the actors and where it's holds. They gave very good performances, very good, believing that they were these characters. I will say this, once again, I got to give credit to Walton Goggins for playing this one character, because at the very end, he showed a little bit more of the character of Boyd Crowder, especially with the way he was talking, the way he was carrying himself, especially when he had to get more serious. And I'm like, okay, here we go. I'm like, there's Boyd Crowder, so again, if you've watched Justified, but overall, interesting film. Like I said, first time watching it, but let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments, and I'll see you as always on the next one.